some of the business owners who came into the incubator, I would ask them, do you have a business plan? Well, yeah, I have one. It's in my head. I mean, as you know.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black.
Welcome to this 23rd edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. This has been a wonderful Black History Month. To that end, today's show focuses on sustainability and entrepreneurship. Our guests have made a significant impact over a number of decades, so we're certainly excited to have the benefit of their expertise in the studio. Before we get going, though, I want to highlight Mr. Robert Abbott. Born just 5 years after the end of the Civil War, Robert Abbott founded a weekly newspaper, the Chicago Defender, one of the most important Black newspapers in history, in 1905. Without Abbott, there would be no Essence, no Jet, no Black Enterprise, no Source, and no The Undefeated. The success of the Chicago Defender made Abbott one of the nation's most prominent post-slavery Black millionaires, along with the beauty product magnate, Madam C.J. Walker, and paved the way for prominent Black publishers such as Earl Graves, John Johnson, and Edward Lewis. The son of slaves, Abbott grew up with a half-German stepfather whose relatives eventually joined the Third Reich during the 1930s. Ironically enough, young Robert was taught to hate racial injustice, despite encountering it at every turn in his life, from his early foray into the printing business to his time in law school in Chicago, all the way to religious institutions. An alum of Hampton University, then named Hampton Institute, Abbott was a catalyst for the Great Migration at the turn of the 20th century, when 6 million African Americans from the rural South moved to urban cities in the West, the Northeast, and the Midwest, with 100,000 settling in Chicago. Like a politician promising tax breaks to out-of-state companies to inspire relocation, Abbott took it upon himself to lay out the welcome mat for the millions of Blacks abandoning Jim Crow to head to the Windy City, where manufacturing jobs were awaiting as World War I approached. When starting off as 25 cents in capital and a 4-page pamphlet distributed strictly in Black neighborhoods, it quickly grew into a readership that eclipsed 500,000 a week at its peak, numbers that mirror the Miami Herald and Orlando Sentinel today. The paper's rise in stature and circulation was due in large part to Abbott being a natural hustler. Defender was initially banned in the South due to its encouragement of African Americans to abandon the area and head north, but the Georgia native used a network of Black railroad porters, who would eventually become the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, to distribute the paper in southern states. After the influx of Blacks in the Midwest following the Great Migration, Abbott and the Defender turned their attention to other issues facing Blacks in the early 20th century, including Jim Crow segregation, the presidency of Woodrow Wilson, and the deadly 1919 Chicago riots that mirrored recent-day demonstrations seen in Baltimore and Ferguson, Missouri. Abbott's nephew, John Sicknack, took the Defender over in the 1940s, eventually heading Black newspapers in Detroit, in Memphis, and the historic Pittsburgh Courier. Super excited to find out that Robert Abbott was actually an alum of the amazing Hampton University. Our first guest is Mr. Alvin Keels. Mr. Keels is a strong believer in education. He has coached, mentored, inspired, and assisted many young people in pursuing a college education. As a lover of music, and especially jazz, Mr. Keels enjoys producing jazz events that express his unique vision and passion for the art. Producing over 10 successful events earned him the distinguished honor of being named Jazz Impresario of the Year by Jazz Arts Movement Incorporated in 2011. Mr. Keels currently serves as the president and CEO of Jazz Legacy Foundation, which he founded in 2013. The Jazz Legacy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit which supports jazz and music education. Each year in November, the foundation holds its annual gala featuring world-renowned jazz talent to promote and support the Jazz Legacy Foundation and its mission. Mr. Keels, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon, rather.
I'm doing. That's right. Well, it is. It is afternoon.
Well, it's good to have you here today. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Listen, we are excited about having you.
Yeah, I'm on the road, and I apologize.
No problem. Listen, we're excited to have you on the show today. We are talking about sustainability and entrepreneurship. And I know that certainly your Jazz Legacy Foundation, your insurance agency have experienced tremendous success. I'm hoping that you are willing to share with our listeners just a little bit about your story. How'd you get started with entrepreneurship?
We're talking about the Jazz Legacy Foundation.
We're talking about the agency. We're talking about Jazz Legacy. We're just talking about your personal history in entrepreneurship.
Well, let's talk about the agency.
Okay.
The State Farm agency started out in 1985. It gave me an opportunity to have my own business. Of course, the State Farm name, of course, is as we know it, is State Farm. But each office, which a lot of people don't know, is independently owned.
Right.
And that business started in 1985, and I was one of the first African American agents in our state to own an agency.
Wow.
And it gave me an opportunity to, excuse me one second. I'm sorry. I'm having a distraction here while I'm driving.
Are you able to turn your radio down, just all the way down for us?
Well, no, I don't have the radio on, actually. I have another individual that was on the phone.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, now they're off. So now I can hear you and I can start over.
Thank you.
In 1985, I was able to have my own agency, and it was quite a pioneering project as well as a challenge. Getting into business, basically being set up in that particular business in an inferior way, and not to really tell you everything about it, but I was initially set up to fail in the business, but I was able to overcome that, and of course, the rest is history now.
But Mr. Keels, I want to hear more about just that. I mean, it's my understanding that insurance is probably one of the most difficult products to sell. You know, you're talking about establishing an agency at a time where there were not very many blacks at all involved. What was that like? What was that journey?
Well, as you mentioned, insurance is something that it's a product, and it's a type of product that you don't have anything physical. It's basically a product of a promise. A promise to take care of your needs in event of your needs. So it's that type of industry. Now, State Farm, which was the company I represented, of course, is a very well-known name. And it's helpful to be a part of that, a company that's well-known, because that kind of gets you in the door when people recognize that name.
Got it.
The challenge I had at the time was I was set up in a location by the company that was a very poor location. I was set up as far as doing business. They put me in an area that was very much a declining area. I couldn't move. I had no choice. Even though I'm in business for myself, but that was part of the independent contract I had to at least to service my clients in that particular area. And area was one that was really a crack-infested area, high crime, and I had to have my office in that area, which wasn't a good thing. I didn't realize how bad it was until after I came on board and attended meetings with other fellow agents and found out they had received accounts and things of that nature. So overall, I don't want to dwell too much more on the negative side, but it was really set up for me to fail, and I overcame those obstacles to make it a success. That's the bottom line.
And actually, let me interrupt you there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We're talking with Mr. Alvin Keels. We're focused today on sustainability and entrepreneurship. Certainly, he's enjoyed a 30-plus year history with the State Farm Agency and has founded the Jazz Legacy Foundation, which is a very successful nonprofit. Sharing a little bit about your time with the agency and how you got things underway. I'm curious to know, were you able to penetrate that particular market with the good news about what it is insurance really provides?
That's a good question, Blair. At the time when I started, we were on a moratorium, which added to what I said earlier, where we couldn't even write certain types of insurance. We couldn't write any auto insurance. Now imagine that, State Farm being the number one auto insurance insurer at the time, and we couldn't write auto insurance.
Wow.
So one thing I could really sell at the time was life insurance. Mm-hmm. And that was my project. That was my goal, to sell as much life insurance. Now, my philosophy was in insurance is to give the customer what's best for them, not necessarily what's best for his company, but what's best for them in their situation. And with that philosophy, I wrote good policies that I could feel good inside, that I know I gave them the best. Because one thing about the insurance industry, it's a industry where there's a lot of stuff out there within the insurance industry that's not really good for the person.
Sure.
And we had some good products, and that was my philosophy. So with that in mind, I was able to just go out and I networked. And in fact, the networking was established through a organization that myself and two others put together. It was the Urban League and another individual, and we started a networking once a month networking gathering where we were able to bring together, in particular, Black entrepreneurs, mm-hmm. or people in business, or people interested in business, and we got together once a month, and we were able to do a lot of business with each other, as well as help each other, and I profited a lot from that. We started that back in 1986, so that helped me as far as gathering business during my initial years with State Farm, but also served as a base to work from as far as advancing just business-wise, as well as being socially conscious as well in the community.
Good stuff. If you've just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We're chatting with, or wrapping up a conversation with Mr. Alvin Keels, talking about sustainability and entrepreneurship. We've got about 2 minutes left. What would you say to someone who has sort of reached that place, perhaps in their journey as an agency owner, or maybe just an insurance salesperson, where they're kind of looking at the numbers and maybe they're a little bit not as optimistic? What would you encourage?
Well, I do encourage a person to pursue a field of this nature. The industry has changed. It's very competitive, but it's still an industry that's needed. And if you have a desire, if you have to work in a type of industry like this, I definitely highly recommend it. Now, the companies that you represent, they all are different. They have different setups as far as getting started. And one company based on that person's position would be more attractive than another company. But it's a good industry and it's always needed. So I do encourage individuals who have this desire to further pursue it.
Awesome. I love it. I think there's a huge need for it as well, particularly in our community. This is the age of GoFundMe, and it's just, yeah. I'd love to have another conversation with you, really. Love to have you back on the show just to talk more about that in particular. I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Sure.
And safe travels to you.
And I thank you for having me.
For sure. We'll talk again soon. Thanks, Alvin. Welcome back to Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. Super excited about this edition of #Add This to the List. We are featuring the Young Investors of Virginia Club and Miss Kezia Hendricks, who will share an important opportunity to impact the next generation. Hi, Kezia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
So good to see you. Please tell our listeners how you got started with this awesome work you're doing in the community.
Well, for starters, Young Investors of Virginia is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that focuses on at-risk teens, specifically males, teenage boys from ages 13 to 18. And what we are doing, we are training and grooming them to be the next generation of community investors. They don't just invest in money, which that is the draw for them, but they also invest in themselves, personal investment. They invest in their academics, their education. They invest in their community, and they invest in, generations before and after them. So we're super excited about that.
I'm super excited about it. I get the warm fuzzies, all the feels, just thinking about the impact of your group. Such a huge need. So, yeah, it's always personal when we start with work like this, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I got to hear the Kezia story because you got some amazing layers in there that led you to this decision.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different layers. For starters, I grew up in Dallas, Texas. And my mom was a single parent of 12 children. And being a single parent of 12 children, you know where we lived. We lived in public housing. And next to our public housing was a detention center or a jail. And it was pretty much like a breeding ground. The kids, the moms would have babies, the boys would get locked up. They would send them, it's like it was an easy transition. So looking back at that as an adult, and then seeing what's going on in today with the school to prison pipeline, I was like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what state you're in. It's something that's going on where they get our young boys specifically at a very early age, and they're influenced to either commit crimes or charged with crimes that they didn't commit. And they're just literally pipelining to be free labor, per the 13th Amendment. So my brother, he did 15 years. He went in at 14 and 15 years old. And the whole time he was locked up, I just wanted to build a future that I know that when he got out, that, I would have something. The whole time I'm dreaming, trying to think of a business or a career where I can make a lot of money so that when he got out, he wouldn't have to face some of the challenges that most of our Black men face with not being able to have employment when they got out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that like I like, and he's well and fine today. But it gave me a passion to go into doing community service and teaching at-risk youth, specifically boys, about opportunities outside of sports, basketball, football, and the music industry. So, and that started with volunteering. My first job was at a nonprofit childcare in Dallas, where I had a chance to learn everything about nonprofits, as a 17-year-old high school student and teen mom. And so I learned the nonprofit side. So I've been in nonprofit all my life. I can't get away from that. And I even getting out of nonprofit and going into the financial industry, I entered the financial industry through nonprofit.
Right. And ultimately to impact nonprofit?
To impact nonprofits, right?
Yeah.
I volunteered for 4 years at the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society when I moved here to Virginia. So I was a financial counselor. So I had an opportunity to sit down with military service members and do a penny by penny budget, especially ones that of the military service members of color who weren't as privy to information on how to manage their finances. I saw a lot of stuff that happened. I saw a lot of our people not knowing the basics of financial literacy. And I just wanted to go out and take a big bullhorn and say, okay, guys, know your interest rates, please, Lord. Let's do a budget. Understand what APR is, and that car is a Charger, but it's 23% interest.
Wow.
And only worth, $3,000.
Wow. If you just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We're interviewing Kezia Hendricks. She is the executive director of Young Investors of Virginia, a new 501c3. She is impacting at-risk boys in particular with the good news about financial literacy and entrepreneurship. Just delighted to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
So talk about some of the strides you guys have made so far with your group and how we can help you.
Oh, awesome. So we are focusing on real estate investments.
Okay.
This past summer, they had the young investors, 14 young men, had the opportunity to be junior real estate agents, and we had pseudo buyers come in, and the young men had a chance to go and show the house, and we'll learn the description of the house. Thanks to Dr. James Allen, he came in and taught that version of the class, as well as showed the young men how to show the house as real estate agents. That was super fun.
Yes.
Absolutely. So one of the things that you can do to help, we are planning fundraisers right now. We celebrated on Monday night our 2019 calendar. The young man had an opportunity to do a photo shoot with a celebrity photographer, Keith Cephas. And they shot at Hampton Roads helicopters in some really nice suits. And and also big shout out to Tally and Twine for donating the watch pieces that the young men wore in the photo shoot. So we have a 2019 calendar. The calendars are $15. They are selling like hotcakes, so you better get them before they're gone. So that's one of the ways, is purchasing our calendar, and it's also their first entrepreneurship project that they're using to learn about selling items.
Are the calendars available via Facebook?
So yes, you can reach out to us via Facebook, Instagram, and as well as through our website.
Okay. How can you be reached?
Young Investors of Virginia Club. If you want to write a check out, the overhead, the program is Young Investors Virginia Club, but if you want to write a check out to the nonprofit, is Young Investors Group. You can also make one-time donations if you like, or you can do a monthly donation to our organization. If you would like to also include us in your trust, your wills or estates, feel free to impart young investors after life.
Nice.
We definitely support that. Also, the biggest thing is we have vending events that we'll be attending where the boys will get a chance to interact and share with you on a face-to-face basis. So if you'd like to, follow us, keep up with what we're doing, and we would love to have you for our next house that the young men will be able to show.
Okay, I love it. So Facebook and Instagram, Young Investors of Virginia Club.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're writing checks to Young Investors Group. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it.
Yay!
This is so awesome. What was I going to ask? Forgot what it was. You mentioned vending events.
Yes. So this Thursday, which is tomorrow, if you hadn't had a chance to celebrate Black History Month, we will be at Great White Water Sports in Norfolk, Virginia, and Ocean View, they're having a showing of a movie about African Americans in water sports, which is not something very common. Actually, in water sports is not really as popular in our community, but we are still very involved and very productive in that industry. So we're going to learn a lot about that. So we'll be there selling calendars and other products there on tomorrow. We posted on our Facebook page if you want to learn more about that. So come out and be a buyer of our calendar and other products that we have to sell. And support us that way.
Water sports. You said this Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what if I am a mom
Okay.
that has a son that I'd like to have be a part of the program?
If you're a mom and you have a son and you want to be a part of the program, I guess I'll just repeat what you said. No, you would just reach out to me on Facebook.
Same thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. And you're currently enrolling?
The enrollment is closed for this session.
Okay.
Our next session will start up in May.
Okay.
And we'll be accepting
But you're
new
accepting applications and so forth now.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And then what about, because I know it sounds like this effort requires probably a good number of volunteers to sustain, mentors, and things like that.
We started out with 14, now we have 23. And the program is just growing just by the months. The word of mouth is the biggest form of recruitment. And we have leaders that are a part of, in the community, that are part of our organization, the young men themselves. And so they literally recruit other young men.
Okay.
And so
what if I'd like to volunteer? Same thing? Can I reach out?
Yeah, reach out to me. Yep.
Okay.
And you'll go through the volunteer training and we'll get you rolling.
Perfect. Super exciting. I'm going to have you repeat once more how you can be reached, because I know people are driving and eating and they're trying to record the information. I want to make sure they can get to you.
So you can contact us through our website, which is younginvestorsgroup.org. younginvestorsgroup.org. You can contact us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Young Investors of Virginia Club, which is the actual mentorship program. So Young Investors of Virginia Club, or you can email me at younginvestorsofva@gmail.com.
What's your vision for this program long term?
The vision for the program in the next 5 years is to have 100 young men from low income and high crime zip codes that invest in real estate, trading stocks, and invest in their communities, both the generations before them and after them, bridging the gap between the elderly community and bridging the gap between the generation that's behind them.
Fantastic. Huge need.
Oh, yeah. Pass the mantle.
Yeah.
Teach them early. Yeah, in the group economics, it's really cool to see them do group economics and partner together to get what they want.
And so I've been in a few circles where I've mentioned group economics and folks have kind of said, what's that? School the audience. What is group economics? What's the practice of group economics? So
for the young investors, group economics is basically what one of our young investors stated on Monday night, is being able to partner with other people to get what you want. Whether it be through resources or finances or services, you come together to achieve a goal to be financially empowered as a group.
Awesome. Kezia, I got to thank you. I look forward to having you back on the show.
Yay!
Year after year to hear about the growth of young investors. This is so exciting.
I will have them with me next time.
Yes.
And especially since they're 13 and 14 years old, a lot of the young men are going to be like 18 and they're going to be adults.
We've had young people on here before.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, thanks so very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Blair.
Absolute pleasure.
No, the pleasure is mine.
Yay. Since we're finalizing Black History Month, I've got to share this. What do you know about Shirley Chisholm? In 1968, Chisholm became the first Black woman elected to the U.S. Congress, representing New York's 12th District for 7 terms from 1969 to 1983. As both a New York state legislator and a congresswoman, Chisholm championed the rights of at least the rights of the least of us, fighting for improved education, health, and social services, including unemployment benefits for domestic workers, providing disadvantaged students the chance to enter college while receiving intensive remedial education, the food stamp program, and the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, also known as WIC. Chisholm noted that she faced more discrimination because of gender than race during her New York legislative career, while acknowledging the additional struggle that Black women encounter specifically because of their race. All those Chisholm hired for her congressional office were women. Half of them were Black. Tremendous amounts of talent are lost to our society just because that talent wears a skirt, Chisholm said. Before President Barack Obama's Yes We Can slogan and Hillary's Stronger Together, there was Chisholm's Unbought and Unbossed. In 1972, Chisholm became the first Black candidate for a major party's nomination for President of the United States and the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. Chisholm remarked in words that still resonate today that, quote, in the end, anti-Black, anti-female, and all forms of discrimination are equivalent to the same thing, anti-humanism. The next time you cue up Solange Knowles' album, A Seat at the Table, be reminded of Chisholm's words. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. And now our next guest. Mr. J.R. Locke serves on several executive boards and is the founding president and CEO of EBM, or Executive Board Management, and Diversity Consulting. Mr. Locke has provided board governance training for nonprofit organizations throughout Hampton Roads, focusing on board excellence, leadership, teamwork, and diversity and inclusion. He has a tremendous bio, but we're going to get into some of those details today. Please welcome Mr. Locke. How are you, sir?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm so excited to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, and as you know, we're focusing on sustainability and entrepreneurship. I think it takes one kind of person to start a business, definitely admirable, but it takes a different set of characteristics to maintain that business over time. And
Absolutely.
You've had all kinds of success. So would you share with us your wisdom today?
Well, I'll be glad to. I guess, first of all, I would be remiss to not say that I am currently with Hampton University in the Office of Development.
Hampton University, stand up.
That's right.
Office of Development, okay.
And what we do there is actually raise money for the university so that we can continue our great mission in educating our students so that they can go on and have fabulous careers.
Wow, that's huge. I think a lot of us, sometimes it kind of goes over our heads that these institutions are nonprofits, they undergo these same kinds of processes to stay afloat. And so it's great to have you at the helm there.
Yes, thank you. And in reference to, I guess, my entrepreneurial passion, I always had a desire to be in business for myself. And ever since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And I continue to...
Wait, can I ask what happened at the age of 12 that...
That's a great question. And probably at that time, I was involved in a family business.
Okay.
My father actually owned a barbecue restaurant. He and my uncle were partners in that restaurant. And oftentimes I would go to the restaurant and they would allow me to serve customers. And really, I felt like that was a very valuable experience because it helped me to hone, I would say, my customer service skills and really understanding that the customer is always right. And that's your job there, is to make sure that when people come in to your establishment, that they're satisfied, and when they leave, they're happy, because then that enhances the opportunity for them to return.
Wow. In fact, if you've just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We have a wonderful guest in the studio, Mr. J.R. Locke, who is with the Office of Development right here at Hampton University, just schooling us to some of the gems associated with success and sustainability and entrepreneurship. Go ahead. Tell us more.
One of the things I did want to speak today, Blair, about entrepreneurship is that oftentimes, particularly in the African American community and oftentimes in other communities, people get into the idea that they want to own their own business because of some challenges that they might be having on their job. Whether they don't really like the job or they don't like the supervisor oftentimes their desire to go into their own business is because of dissatisfaction
Sure.
where they're working. And that probably is not the reason why you should go into your own business. Because when you decide you want to go into your own business, it should be because you have a passion for that business.
Right.
Not because you're uncomfortable someplace else, although that does become an impetus for people to get started. Mm-hmm. But you want to make sure that that's your passion, because when you're into your own business, you don't have anybody to report to. Mm-hmm. You don't have anybody to say, this is what you need to do. You have to set those goals and objectives, and you have to hold yourself accountable to make sure those things get done. And so from a day-to-day basis, the first thing I would advocate, because when I was the executive director of the Hampton University Business Incubator, mm-hmm. That was our mission, is to help entrepreneurs get started. And one of the things that I found that I would speak to entrepreneurs about is making sure that they would do an initial inventory, a self-assessment of themselves, to ensure that they had the qualities that other successful entrepreneurs have to be in business. For example, if you're the kind of person that you like to get up at 11, 12 o'clock every day,
right,
you probably should not think about going into your own business.
Wow.
Because when you look at successful entrepreneurs and when you read about them and have an opportunity to talk to them, and you ask them, well, what time do you get up in the morning? I get up at 5 o'clock.
3,
5:30. What time do you go to bed? Man, I went to bed at midnight.
Easy.
So
yeah.
Those are characteristics that people have to examine to determine whether or not they have some of those similar characteristics that successful people have.
You got to give us a few more of those. I think that is so important.
Well, there are a couple of companies in the area that really been launched here that I know I'm looking to be very successful. One is called IV Watch.
Okay.
And this particular entrepreneur, he had a passion to own his own business. He had started some other companies before, but he came across an idea that he saw a need, because with intravenous use, oftentimes it doesn't go successfully. When people sticking needles in your arm, sometimes they don't hit the right place. Sometimes the intravenous tubes leak. And so he saw a need where he developed a device and named a company. It's called IV Watch. That company is an upcoming company. They've raised, several $1 million in these fundraising rounds, and they're going on to be a big company in this area. Another company comes to mind is called EdLogix. This entrepreneur, he saw the need in healthcare that we are continually facing an uphill battle on trying to get control of our healthcare. Mm-hmm. As you know, you always are trying to be first in doing things, but when it comes to healthcare, mm-hmm. you don't want to be first. Right. As a community, you don't want to have the highest level of blood pressure. You don't want to have the highest rate of heart attacks. And unfortunately, many of those particular characteristics we have in the African American community, but this company saw a niche to say, well, people are trying to get educated, but oftentimes it's about reading. And unfortunately, a lot of people just don't read enough to learn how to be healthier. So this entrepreneur actually developed a concept through gamification.
Oh, wow.
And it's through games that he's creating excitement about healthcare. Some of the questions, you go on the platform and it'll ask you, well, does eating fried foods cause high blood pressure? Maybe a true or false answer. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But when you answer, the correct answer gives you accumulating points. And at the end of the month, you're competing against many other people that's on that platform, and you may win a $50 gift certificate. And
Love it.
It's those kind of
Very
unique, innovative ideas mm-hmm. is what causes entrepreneurs to have the opportunity to be successful.
If you have just tuned in, you're in for a treat. This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We are talking about sustainability and entrepreneurship with J.R. Locke, who is, just Mr. Hampton University, working in the Office of Development at present, former leader for the Hampton University Business Incubator. Just giving us some gems here So these entrepreneurs that you just mentioned, the founder of IV Watch, the founder of Ed Logics.
Yes.
Are these companies that you helped shape?
No,
Okay.
I didn't help shape them, but I just have the good fortune of being able to meet those entrepreneurs and talk with them. How do they get started? That type of thing. Because that's what you learn is by talking to other successful people.
Sure.
But one of the things I also wanted to mention about, starting your own business, I don't know how many times you've driven around the community and you see a new business started, but maybe 12 months later, you drive by there and it's a for sale sign up.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. And you just wonder, what was the cause of that business's demise? And the two primary reasons why businesses fail, Blair, points to this, is lack of capital and lack of knowledge. All right. Now, the lack of capital, we have a challenge. Most business owners have a challenge being able to get the necessary capital to start a business. But lack of knowledge is on you.
Right, at this point.
Yeah, it's on you.
Yes.
And so any entrepreneur should be trying to find out as much as possible. There's so much information on the internet now about everything.
Yes.
And so particularly as it relates to starting a business, there's just so much information out there that you shouldn't have a great foundation on the kinds of things that you need to do to start a business. One of the things I also want to highlight is the value of incubators. Because when I started my company, I wasn't really familiar with incubators, but they're such a great tool because here there's an opportunity that if you're starting a business and you're operating out of your home and your business is growing and you feel like I need an office, because an office does play a vital role in terms of projecting the professionalism of your company. And you can go into an incubator, have an office, and what's most valuable is you have mentoring, because the incubator's objective is that they will help you and guide you through the steps so that you, as you mentioned earlier, not only start a business, but to sustain your business. They help you with your business plan. They help you with a marketing plan. And those are the essentials that every business needs to have in place in order to be successful. Some of the business owners who came into the incubator, I would ask them, do you have a business plan? Well, yeah, I have one. It's in my head. I mean, as you know,
Good place for it.
if it's not written down, most of the time, it's not important.
Right, it's true.
And so these are the kind of fundamentals that I do want to advocate for business owners, that you need to start out with some type of business plan written on paper, because that's the track for you to run on.
We've got 2 minutes remaining. I want to ask you about a couple of quick things.
Sure.
Gigglingpawsandpets.com. When my assistant sent me that message, I was like, oh, that's not the right, I don't think that's the right person. Please tell us about Giggling Paws and Pets.
All right, Giggling Paws and Pets is another one of my companies, actually, that I'm working with my son, who started that company.
Okay.
And if you think about Facebook, one of the mottos that my son has is that Facebook is not just for humans.
Wow.
And so it's a digital platform where people can go on the site, learn about health and safety tips for their pets.
Okay.
And then at some point in the future, there will be opportunities for pet owners actually to post pictures of themselves and their pets.
Okay.
And basically it is a platform similar to Facebook, but for animals.
Wow. Innovative. I love it. How can you be reached? I know you're doing some consulting. You're working with nonprofits. Is that right?
I've worked with nonprofits.
Are you working with nonprofits now?
No.
Okay. So we're not to contact you with questions about board governance or anything like that. I know you're connected to some things.
Tell you.
We're exchanging this dialogue. This has been great. But we'll have you on again soon. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
JR.
And thank you for the work that you're doing.
It's my heart.
It's your passion.
Gotta do it. Absolutely.
There you go.
Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram. And then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party. Phenomenal.